Imagine being a young, impressionable person scrolling on social media like Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, maybe even X, and you're constantly comparing yourself to what you're seeing online. With every swipe, you're confronted with someone else's life, looks, body, and with each swipe or scroll, you start to feel a little bit worse about your own life, looks, or body. Well, I was that young, impressionable person, always convinced that everyone on the other side of the screen had a better life than I did. But the truth is, we only see what people are choosing to post. We have no idea what it's actually like to live in their shoes. And if we did, their lives probably wouldn't seem so perfect. Online, we're only getting the highlights or the pretty parts of people's lives. While social media can be a great way to connect with others and meet new friends, it also contributes to mental health challenges, distorted self-image, and reduced real-world interaction. That's why it's so important to limit harmful exposure and encourage more mindful and intentional use of these platforms. Heavy social media use is linked to higher rates of anxiety and depression among teens. According to a 2021 study published by JMIR Mental Health, researchers found that adolescents who use social media more frequently experience higher levels of depression and anxiety and loneliness. Mental health struggles can make it harder to concentrate, plan ahead, and maintain motivation and energy. These challenges can spill into daily life, leading to neglect in hygiene, eating habits, and overall self-care. Constant comparison fuels stress, self-doubt, and low self-esteem. An article by Very Well Mind explains that there are two types of social comparison. There's upward social comparison, which happens when we compare ourselves to people who are more successful or better off than we are. Now, this could have positive effects and motivate us to improve, but this can also lead to envy or feeling inadequate. And then we have downward social comparison, which occurs when we compare ourselves to people who seem worse off than us. This can make us feel better about our own situation by putting things into perspective, even if it's not always a kind instinct. Comparison pulls our focus away from our own personal growth and well-being, leaving us either feeling inadequate or falsely reassured instead of genuinely fulfilled. A quote my mom always used to tell us growing up was, "Comparison is the thief of joy." While this quote is often attributed to Teddy Roosevelt, sources like Stoic quotes tell us that the true origin is unclear. But as Stoic quotes explains, this saying reminds us that we can never be truly content if we're constantly pitting ourselves against other people. In addition to how social media can affect our mental health, it can also have negative effects on our body image and our self-perception. Platforms like Instagram and TikTok often promote unrealistic beauty standards. And this can lead to body dysmorphic disorder, which is a mental health condition that distorts how we see and feel about our appearance. Exposure to edited photos that influencers may be posting can make us feel inadequate. A 2021 Consumer Report survey found that 1 in 5 American adults has used a beauty filter before posting a picture or a video. Editing our bodies and faces can be harmful because this suggests that normal, healthy features just aren't good enough. It is normal to have facial redness, pimples, stretch marks, and other natural traits. And yet these filters and photo edits can often make us forget that. Amanda Lenhart's Pew study shows that social media creates several different stressors for teens, including seeing posts about events that they weren't invited to, feeling pressure to look perfect online, worrying about getting enough likes, and dealing with posts that they can't control. Social media has also affected the way that people communicate. With the increase of technology and cell phone use, face-to-face communication and interpersonal social skills have been negatively impacted. Have you ever noticed that when people are standing in line at a grocery store or walking down the street, they're far more likely to pull out their phone and look busy than they are to start a casual conversation with someone nearby? It's almost become automatic, like a way to avoid eye contact and small talk. And I'll be honest, I've done this too. It's something I've caught myself doing several times. And lately I've been trying to be more aware and break this habit, because the more we retreat into our screens, the more we distance ourselves from the real connections happening right in front of us. Today, I want to encourage you to be mindful about how much time you spend on social media. Maybe set some personal limits or goals for how much social media time you allow. A research from the American Psychological Association found that reducing social media use by 50% for only a few weeks led to significant improvement in how teens and young adults viewed their weight and appearance. Try to curate positive algorithms for yourself. Follow accounts that are inspiring and promote positivity, and stop following accounts that cause you to stress or compare yourself to others. As social media continues to grow, I believe that schools and parents need to teach their kids to recognize unrealistic portrayals that are shown online. Try to promote real-life interactions and connections. Organize offline activities, sports, clubs, and events that can build genuine relationships and have face-to-face interaction. Practice screen-free hobbies like art, journaling, music, crafting, reading, sports, gardening, cooking, baking. There are so many hobbies that don't involve a screen or social media. Some of my personal favorites right now are reading. I just got a Kindle this last year, and that has been one of my newest obsessions. Plants. I have way too many plants that I love. Baking. I'm really into baking with sourdough right now. Working out, playing volleyball. These are just a few of the hobbies that I really enjoy that help me to limit how much time I'm spending on my phone and interacting with social media. So in conclusion, social media can be a powerful tool to building connections and making friends, but it can also have effects on our mental health, our body image, and limits our real-world interactions. But we have the power to change that by encouraging mindful use and stronger face-to-face connections. Social media is not going away, but we can choose how we use it and how to guide the younger generations to use it. And this will determine whether its impact is ultimately positive or negative. So let's be intentional about how we scroll, share, and post, because the next generation deserves to live in a digital world that lifts them up instead of tearing them down.